Welcome to the reality of the modern dating market, a market that has crashed, and most of you are walking around with pockets full of counterfeit currency. You think compliments are payments. You think if you pay a woman enough verbal coins, she will dispense affection like a vending machine. You are so beautiful. You look amazing today. I love your smile. Stop, just stop. You're committing economic suicide. Let's look at this through the lens of basic economics. Inflation. When the government prints trillions of dollars out of thin air, the value of the dollar collapses. It buys nothing. It becomes worthless paper. Now look at the dating landscape. Social media has industrialized the production of compliments. An average woman, mediocre at best, can open her phone and see 500 notifications, 500 men telling her she is a goddess, 500 men validating her existence for free. This is hyperinflation of validation in this economy. Your standard compliment is not a gift. It is noise. It is spam. When you approach a woman and lead with her beauty, you're not being romantic. You're simply adding yourself to the pile of simps she ignores every single day. You are fan number 501. You have zero leverage. You have zero differentiation. And statistically, your return on investment, or ROI, is negative. To survive in this hostile environment, you must fundamentally shift your operating system. You must kill the fan and birth the judge. The fan looks up from the bottom, grateful for a glance. The judge looks down from the bench, assessing value. The fan gives validation, hoping for a reward, as the judge withholds validation until it is earned. Today, we are going to weaponize language. We are breaking down the top 4 forbidden compliments. I call them forbidden, not because they are illegal, but because the mainstream narrative, the movies, your mother, and society, have lied to you. They told you to be nice. They told you to supplicate. We are going to do the opposite. These 4 compliments are designed to bypass her logical defenses. They trigger a psychological glitch in the female brain because they signal something she almost never sees in 2024. A man who is not easily impressed. A man who has standards. A man who understands the true price of his attention. Welcome to Mind Before Skin. Let's dismantle the illusion. Before we hand you the weapons, you need to understand the battlefield. You need to understand why the old maps don't work. Think about your grandfather. Think about the year 1950, when he walked up to a woman at a local dance and told her she looked beautiful. It meant something. Said, wait, why? Because the market was local. That woman did not have a supercomputer in her pocket. She did not have access to thousands of men within a 5-mile radius. She did not have a global supply chain of validation. Your grandfather's compliment was a scarce resource. Scarcity creates value. That is Econ 101. Fast forward to today, the modern reality. The dating market has been globalized and digitized. A woman in a small town in Ohio can post a photo and receive instant validation from a banker in London, a fitness model in LA, and a prince in Dubai. The supply of male attention is effectively infinite. And what happens when supply becomes infinite? Price drops to zero. Male attention has become a commodity. It is as cheap as tap water. You turn on the faucet and it flows. Nobody cherishes tap water until the well runs dry. So when you approach her with the same old nice guy compliments, you're trying to sell water to a fish. She is drowning in it. She doesn't need it. And frankly, she is bored by it. This brings us to the biological imperative. Evolution does not care about your feelings. Evolution cares about survival and replication. And the female brain has evolved a specific threat detection system. It is designed to filter out the weak, to filter out the desperate. When you compliment her too early or too frequently, or without reason, you trigger a low status alert in her brain. Her subconscious asks, why is he giving this away for free? Does he have no other options? Is he trying to buy my approval? If the answer is yes, attraction dies instantly. You cannot negotiate desire. You cannot logic a woman into wanting you. Desire is not a decision, it is a reaction. It is a response to stimuli. And here is the secret that society hides from you. The human brain craves the unpredictable. Neuroscience calls this reward prediction error. If you do exactly what she expects, you're pretty. Can I buy you a drink? Her brain releases zero dopamine. It is a flat line. It is routine. But if you break the pattern, if you withhold the validation she expects, or if you deliver a compliment that challenges her, her brain wakes up. There is a spike in neural activity. She becomes curious. Who is this guy? Why isn't he fawning over me? Am I good enough for him? Suddenly, the tables have turned. You're no longer the consumer trying to buy her time, but you become the prize. You become the scarcity she is missing. The forbidden compliments we're about to discuss are not about being mean. They're not about being a jerk. They're about value signaling. They signal that your approval is expensive, that your attention must be earned. They shift the dynamic from a gift economy to a meritocracy. She has to work for it. And human beings, especially in relationships, only value what they have to work for. If you are easy, you're forgettable. We are about to install a new software in your mind. We are going to teach you how to starve the supply so you can demand a higher price. We are moving from the economics of abundance to the economics of power. Are you ready to stop being free water and start being fine wine? Let's deploy the first weapon, the competence frame. But first, we have to talk about the genetic lottery. When you tell a woman she is beautiful, what are you actually complimenting? You're complimenting her DNA, you're complimenting her parents, you're complimenting a random alignment of biology that she had zero control over. She didn't build her bone structure, she didn't engineer her eye color, she just woke up like that. From an economic standpoint, beauty is a depreciating asset. It peaks, and then it declines. It requires maintenance, sure, but it is not an achievement, yet. 90% of men focus their entire marketing strategy on this one asset class. You're hot, you're sexy, you're gorgeous. Here is the hard truth regarding high-value women. If she is truly beautiful, she has heard it 10,000 times before she met you. She heard it from the barrister. She heard it from the Uber driver. She heard it from the guy sliding into her DMs at 2 a.m. By focusing on her looks, you're categorizing yourself with the masses. You're boring, you're predictable, and you're telling her that the only value she brings to the table is visual, that she's just a decoration. Now, flip the script. What do human beings crave more than being admired? They crave being respected. They crave competence. We want to be valued for what we do, not just for what we are. We want credit for our sweat equity, the effort we put in, the choices we make, the skills we sharpen. So, compliment number one is about ignoring the surface and penetrating the intellect. You're going to compliment her competence. This is not, wow, you're so smart. That sounds like a teacher talking to a child. That sounds patronizing. And it sounds like you are surprised that a woman can think. Do not be that guy. The competence frame is specific. It is a peer-to-peer assessment. It is the CEO recognizing a talented executive. It frames you as a man who values substance over style, a man who is looking for a partner, not just a plaything. Here is how you execute it. Observe her actions, observe how she handles a situation, observe how she tells a story, and then you strike. The phrase, "I genuinely respect the way you handled that situation just now." You have a very sharp sense of social intelligence, or "I like how your mind works." You connected those two ideas in a way I hadn't thought of. That was sharp. Or simply, "You're incredibly articulate." It's rare. Why does this work? Let's break down the mechanics. 1. The pattern interrupt. She is expecting you to look at her chest or her face. Instead, you are looking at her brain. You caught her off guard, or her defenses are lowered because you aren't attacking the usual fortress. 2. The validation of agency. You're validating her choices. You're telling her that her hard work on her personality, her education, her social skills has paid off. This hits the ego much deeper than vanity. Vanity is cheap. Pride is expensive. You are feeding her pride. 3. The status signal. By judging her competence, you implicitly position yourself as competent enough to judge. Only a smart man can recognize a smart woman. Only a socially calibrated man can recognize social calibration. You're not begging for her approval. You're approving her. You're holding the clipboard. You are the auditor. Think about the dynamics of a job interview. Who has the power, the applicant trying to sell themselves or the hiring manager taking notes? When you use the competence frame, you become the hiring manager. You're vetting her for the position of girlfriend, and she subconsciously feels the need to qualify. She wants to prove she really is that smart, or you wants to prove she really is that sharp. She starts chasing your validation of her intellect. And the moment she starts chasing, you've won. However, a warning. This requires calibration. It must be genuine. If she says something stupid, and you tell her she is brilliant, you're a sycophant, you're a simp in disguise. Women have built-in bullshit detectors. If you fake this, you will be labelled as manipulative. You must actually listen. You must actually observe, find the thing she takes pride in. Is she a nurse? Compliment her grace under pressure. Is she an artist? Compliment her discipline. Not just the painting. Is she a lawyer? Compliment her logic structure. Reward the behaviour you want to see. If you want a smart, capable woman, reward her intelligence. If you only reward her looks, you will get a woman who only cares about her looks. The market gives you what you pay for. The competence frame sets the standard. It says, I am a man of purpose. I value effectiveness, and I see potential in Husu. That is a drug more potent than any "you're beautiful" text you will ever receive. Most men are blind. They walk through life with tunnel vision, focused only on the obvious, focused only on the packaging, the curves, the skin, and the assets. When you focus on the packaging, you're a consumer. You are looking at the product on the shelf, drooling over the wrapper, but the high-value man. The man who understands the game. He is not a consumer, he is an analyst. He is Sherlock Holmes. He sees the details that the rest of the world ignores. This brings us to compliment number 2, the observational dagger. I call it a dagger because it is sharp. It cuts through the social mask she wears. It cuts through the public persona. Dan, it pierces straight into her core identity. Here is the premise. Every woman wants to be seen, not looked at. Seen. There is a massive difference. Looking at is physical. Seeing is psychological. In a world of swipe left and swipe right, where everyone is a profile picture, feeling truly understood is the rarest commodity on earth. If you can make her feel like you get her within 5 minutes of meeting her, you own her attention, you become an addiction. So, how do you sharpen the dagger? You stop looking at her body parts, and you start looking for data points. You look for the anomalies, you look for the choices she made. Don't say, I like your dress. That is generic. That is lazy. That is a zero-effort transaction. Anyone with eyes can see a dress. Instead, ask yourself, why did she choose that dress? What does it say about her mood? What does it say about her personality? The phrase, I noticed something interesting about you. You have this very specific style. It's chaotic but controlled. It tells me you're someone who likes to break the rules, but only on your own terms. Boom, you just cold read her soul. You just told her a story about herself. And human beings are obsessed with themselves. Or try this. You have a very intense energy. I watched you walk in. You didn't just walk, you scanned the room. You're very observant, aren't you? You don't trust people easily. Analyze the mechanics here. This is called cold reading. It is the same psychological trick used by psychics and fortune tellers, but grounded in reality. You are taking a small observation and extrapolating a personality trait. Why is this forbidden? Because it is intimate, it is intrusive. You are stepping inside her personal space without touching her. You're stripping away the small talk. You're bypassing where are you from and what do you do, and going straight to who are you. This triggers a massive release of dopamine and oxytocin, the bonding chemicals. She feels a sudden, unexplained connection to you. OMG, he totally gets me. How did he know that we must have a connection? No, darling, it's not magic, it's observation. From an evolutionary standpoint, this signals high social intelligence EQ. It signals that you are a man who pays attention. And in the wild, the man who pays attention is the man who survives. The man who notices the twig snap in the jungle is the man who protects the tribe from the tiger. The oblivious man gets eaten. Women are genetically wired to seek safety. Safety isn't just big muscles. Safety is awareness. When you demonstrate that you notice the small details, her reptile brain whispers, he is safe. He sees things. He is alert. But here is the catch. You must be accurate, or at least plausibly accurate. Specificity is king. Don't say you have a nice vibe. What does that even mean? It means nothing. Say you have a very guarded vibe. You smile, but your eyes are analyzing everything. Don't say you're funny. Say you use humor as a shield. You're quick to make a joke so people don't get too close to the real you. See the difference? One is a fan complimenting a performance. The other is a director analyzing the actor. It establishes a frame where you are the one figuring her out. She becomes the puzzle. You become the solver. And let me tell you the hardest truth of all. Beautiful women are bored. They are bored of being told they are beautiful. They are bored of men who are intimidated by them. They are desperate for a man who can look past the makeup, past the Instagram filter, and call them out on who they really are. The observational dagger does exactly that. It proves you are not intimidated. It proves you are not distracted by the shiny packaging. It proves you are searching for substance. When you use this, be prepared for the reaction. She will stop looking around the room. She will lock eyes with you. She might blush. She might stutter. Because for the first time all night, someone actually saw her. That is power. Wield it carefully. Now we enter the advanced territory. This is where the boys are separated from the men. This is where the nice guy gets filtered out. And the high-value man takes the throne. We are talking about friction. Physics tells us a simple truth. No friction, no heat. If you are smooth, if you are agreeable, if you're constantly nodding your head like a bobblehead doll, you are creating zero friction. And therefore, you're creating zero heat. Most men are yes men. They are terrified of disagreement. They are terrified of offending the queen. You like sushi. Me too. You like hiking. I love hiking. You hate cats. Yeah, cats are the worst. This is pathetic. This is what I call mirroring for survival. You are a chameleon trying to blend in so you don't get rejected. But here is the irony. By trying to fit in, you become invisible. Women do not respect men they can mold like clay. Women respect rocks, unmovable, solid, defined, enter. Compliment number 3, the disqualifying compliment. This is the art of the push-pull. You give her a compliment, the pull, but you wrap it in a disqualifier, the push. You give her a taste of validation, and then you snatch it away before she can digest it. The phrase, "You are adorable, but I can tell you are absolute trouble. We would never get along." Or, "It's a shame you're so cute, because you're way too high maintenance for me." Or simply, "I was starting to like you. Until you said that, now I'm reconsidering." Let's analyze the economics of this transaction. This creates what I call a validation gap. And in a normal interaction, the woman is the prize and the man is chasing. The gap is in her favor. When you disqualify her, you flip the script. You're saying, "I see your value. You're cute/adorable, but you do not meet my standards. You're trouble/high maintenance." Suddenly, you become the prize. You become the one with standards. You are the one doing the selecting. Why does this drive women crazy? It triggers cognitive dissonance. Her brain hears two conflicting messages. Message A, he thinks I'm attractive. Message B, he doesn't want me. Her brain cannot reconcile this. It creates a mental itch, a glitch in the matrix. What does he mean I'm trouble? Why wouldn't we get along? I'm not high maintenance. I can be chill. Now, watch what happens. She starts trying to prove you wrong. She starts qualifying herself to you. No, I'm not trouble. I'm actually really sweet. I'm not high maintenance. I love camping. Do you see what just happened? She is now selling herself to you. The dynamic has completely inverted. 5 minutes ago, you were just another guy. Now, you are the judge, and she is the defendant pleading her case. This is the only compliment that establishes leverage in any negotiation. The person who is willing to walk away has the leverage. The disqualifying compliment signals that you are willing to walk away. It signals that beauty alone is not enough to keep you. It signals that you have options, because a starving man does not throw away food. Only a man with a full banquet creates conditions for what he eats. But, and this is a massive but, delivery is everything. This requires the smirk. If you say this with a serious, angry face, you're just an asshole. You're just being rude, and she will walk away. It must be playful. It must be said with a glint in your eye. You're teasing her like a little sister. You're poking the bear. You're letting her in on the joke. The subtext is, I like you enough to tease you. I'm comfortable enough to challenge you. This creates emotional spikes. Up and down, approval and disapproval, hot and cold. This emotional roller coaster releases dopamine. It mimics the thrill of the chase. If you're just nice all the time, it is a flat line. Flat lines are for dead people. Relationships need a heartbeat. The disqualifying compliment is that heartbeat. It tells her, I am not a fan, I am an equal, and I am not afraid of losing you. That is the most attractive trait a man can possess. Indifference to outcome. Use this weapon. Create the gap. Let her chase you across the bridge. We have covered competence. We have covered observation. We have covered disqualification. Now, we arrive at the final tier, the Holy Grail, character. In the modern dating marketplace, we are suffering from a crisis of integrity. The market is flooded with short-term liquidity, hookup culture, situationships, ghosting. Everyone is renting. Nobody's buying. When you are out on a date, she assumes you are just another tourist. She assumes you are there to visit her body. Take a few pictures and leave when the season changes. That is the baseline expectation. That is the fuckboy frame. Compliment number 4 destroys this frame instantly. It separates you from the boys who want a knight and positions you as the man who is building an empire. You are not looking for a playmate. You are looking for a first lady. This compliment targets her values, her loyalty, her discipline, her kindness and haters, her relationship with her family. The phrase "you know what is actually rare" is not your looks, it's the fact that you seem incredibly loyal to your friends. I heard how you spoke about them. That kind of integrity is almost extinct in this city. Or, I respect your discipline, getting up at 5 a.m. to train every day. That tells me you have standards for yourself. I value that more than anything else. Why does this hit different? Because it triggers the nesting instinct deep down, beneath the feminist slogans and the independent boss babe persona. Biology is still running the show. Women are evolutionarily wired to seek a protector and a provider, not just of resources, but of her emotional stability. When you compliment her character, you are signaling long-term investment. You are telling her, I am not here to pump and dump. I am vetting you for a permanent position on my team. I am looking for a mother for my future children. You don't say that explicitly. That would be creepy. But the subtext screams it, and her subconscious hears it loud and clear. This compliment differentiates you from 2 dangerous groups. 1, the fuckboy who only cares about her body. 2, the nice guy who blindly accepts everything she does. You are the builder. You are saying, I have a mission, I have a purpose, and I need a woman of high character to stand beside me. This does something magical. It makes her want to be that woman. It makes her want to live up to that standard. She will stop playing games. She will stop the hard-to-get act because she realizes the stakes have changed. We are no longer playing for drinks. We are playing for keeps. But be warned. Do not use this on a woman who belongs to the streets. This is a high-level weapon. Only use it on a woman who actually demonstrates these traits. If you use this on a toxic woman, you are just lying to yourself. But when you use it on the right woman, it is the ultimate seal of approval. It tells her she is more than just a body count. It tells her she is valued, and a woman who feels valued for her soul will give you her body, her mind, and her loyalty voluntarily, enthusiastically, permanently. Gentlemen, you now hold the keys to the castle, the competence frame, the observational dagger, the disqualifying compliment, and the character vetting. These are not pickup lines. These are declarations of intent. They are the tools of a man who knows his worth in a market that has forgotten it. Remember the fundamental rule of economics. If you give it away for free, it has no value. If you starve the supply, you increase the demand. Stop flooding the market with cheap validation. Stop telling every woman she is a goddess just because she exists. Save your praise for the women who earn it. Save your attention for the behavior you want to see. When you change how you compliment, you change how you are perceived. You stop being a fan, you start being the prizer. And trust me, she wants the prize. She wants the man she has to work for. She wants the man who sees the truth. Go out there, test the market, be the anomaly in the matrix, and watch how the world responds to a man who respects himself. Drop your experience in the comments. Which of these 4 compliments are you going to deploy this weekend? And why I want to see your strategy. And if this speaks to you, join the community by subscribing. Mind. Before skin is here to tell the truth, others won't. Dismissed.